Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor. Journal entry, hour 13. As I sit here in this cramped shed that has been my world for all this time, I begin to wonder at all the events that led me to this point. Did I always wear a bag of leaves as trousers? Do they make my butt look better or worse? And was it worth the $40, or did that guy on the side of the road take advantage of my inexperience in the world of lower body fashion? So as I, make this entry, I'm pulling this tarp around me for warmth. I'm just trying to think back of, how did I get here? Just worlds ago, there was a time when life was normal. Was it only hours ago?
Welcome to a very special episode of the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. It seems Dr. London has landed himself in a very unique situation. How did he get there? Who was he with? And why doesn't he remember? These are all questions that will hopefully be answered in the Twilight Zone.
Nope.
I mean the Jock podcast.
Yes.
Let's take it back to the beginning.
Okay. So are we ready to record,
You ready
Cameron?
for this? I don't really want to do this, man.
Why?
Because the recording equipment has been it's been making these little noises, and it's also, I think these cords are too long. Something's been chewing on these cords.
Well, you say something.
And then I was chewing on those cords. Not on these. I was chewing on those cords over there, but those aren't working either.
Yeah. No, they're in
I don't
half. Like they're separated.
It just, are we... I don't know, man. And then there's all this stuff with my cousin.
Okay, your cousin again?
No, this is a different cousin. It's just, he's in the hospital with fleas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I'm just tired, man. But yeah, let's get this thing done.
Do you think that we can go on with what we have here? Because I don't want, we have medical lessons to teach. I don't want, the integrity of the recording to be compromised.
Well, I have guaranteed our audience that we have no integrity, but we can talk about that later. I mean, so if you want to, we could go record at my house. I mean, I have stuff that works better over there, like my personal stuff. I even have built my own little studio, honestly.
Okay, because you're normally very private about this because you say that's your sanctuary. Are you sure that you're okay with me going there?
Yeah, I mean, I like to keep my private life private and my public life public.
Yes.
But the reality is that the monstrous and abhorrent things that happen in my private life are kind of awesome. And I think I should open up my life to more people, seeing what's going on behind the mask,
Okay. Yeah, as long as you're okay with it. Because, I'm kind of the public face of this podcast, so I'd take the risk. But if you're willing... Okay, then we can go.
Yeah.
Thank you for, offering.
Let's just go ahead and put this blindfold on.
What? Okay.
Well, I'm still a private person.
Right. Okay. I guess.
All right, and then just get on the back of my motorcycle.
Yep. And. Oh!
You're gonna want to take your shoes off at this part over this bridge.
Okay, well, someone took them off already.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Because you don't want to be wearing your shoes for this part.
I'm glad they gave me back the laces at least.
All right. You can take the blindfold off now.
Okay. Oh, it's wet. Okay.
Oh yeah, everything's wet. I keep the moisture at a solid 86% usually.
For recording studio.
For the compound.
Okay.
So, for the whole area.
So you call this a compound then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I thought compound was named for like how there was maybe a multiple level, multiple room situation. So we can crawl in then?
So you did peek when I was from your blindfold, and you saw all that.
No, I'm saying, right. Well, yes, I did sneak a little peek. But anyway, can we, is it okay if we climb in?
Let's record this.
Crawl in? Okay.
But you do notice that this little door that we're going to crawl through is the wettest part of the entire area, which is kind of cool, right?
That's not like the word that I would use, but okay. Yeah, okay, so here we go.
It's got to be the goopiest.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
there's no way, with water you can measure. There is no way to measure levels of goopiness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm still working on that. Just go in.
Viscosity? Oh, okay. Okay. Wow, okay. So we're going to have to kind of duck down, I guess. The roof is so low.
Yeah. But look at the equipment. The equipment's solid.
Yeah, technically. Given how much of this place is liquid, the fact that something in here is solid is impressive. And I see you've
you notice the fog at our feet as well. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, and how it stirs in little parts as if something's moving.
That's just the moisture in the air mixing with a lot of crap that I have on the ground. Just a lot of weird nonsense stuff.
It feels a lot like Yoda's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of like if Yoda maybe was
less
getting
hygienic.
government. Well, was getting like unemployment checks.
Yeah. Okay. But because of the amount of recording equipment.
Oh, yeah, he's spending the unemployment on the equipment for sure.
Yeah, and nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess
all right.
Are these the seats? The like clay
toadstools? Yeah.
Yes, okay.
That originally this whole place was going to be more Alice in Wonderland themed. And then Disney shot me with a bow and arrow.
Was this literal, or was Disney a friend of yours?
No, it was a lawyer from Disney, I guess, came by on a golf cart. And they saw me.
You're sure it was
toadstools.
Disney?
Yeah. They had a whole thing about it. Like, we're part of Disney Corporation, LLC. We're sending you a cease and desist. And then when I said, well, what if I don't desist? And then bow and arrow.
Yeah, and so they didn't take the time to explain law to you regarding the cease and desist. Okay. All right. So I guess is this good for you? I feel like we could record here.
Yeah, let's do it. This is good for me. I record most of my shows right here. Not Jock Doc podcast, of course, but
yeah,
most of my recordings, they happen right here. This is where the magic happens.
Okay. So
any other card games that we might be playing.
Okay. I don't know what else we would be playing, but all right. So am I good to start? Is it recording?
Let me figure out.
Okay, and should there be things grabbing at my legs and my ankles?
Oh, that's just the moisture. Again, the moisture is up. I mean, it's like 89% right now.
Yeah.
And so you're going to feel a lot of, things like tickling your feet and maybe like whispering in your ear. And that's just what happens when the moisture mixes with the fog, mixes with, again, just a lot of garbage and things I don't really want to talk about or know about going on below the fog.
Okay.
And so let's record. Okay. All right. Timothy, you recording? We got that?
Who's Timothy?
Huh?
Who's Timothy?
I don't know a Timothy.
Okay, you just said Timothy, which is why I asked.
No, I didn't.
Okay, do you have someone else living here named Timothy?
Are we recording? We're recording? Yep, I got it. Okay, I pressed the record button. We are recording.
Is there someone named Timothy who who does the actual audio engineering work? Okay, whatever. I guess I don't need to know that. All right, we're good to go. Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as focal lymphocytic sialoadenitis and Willikers, so I will try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Hi, Dr. London.
Hi. And so, for our listeners, we're actually recording in a different place, so I don't know if that'll affect the sound quality at all.
Oh, I think this place has been built from the ground up to have the best sound possible. That's why, for our listeners, you wouldn't know this, but the moisture in this place is through the roof. And that allows the sound waves to kind of bounce off it and give you sort of a 3D sort of depth and feel.
Okay. Wow. And what a great experience for our listeners. So, I guess it is hard to convey. So we went from another recording studio where we normally do our recordings, but this is, sorry, it's just so uncomfortable. I do feel something crawling on me, and I don't think it's just fog. Is there something we can, do you have like a stick to scrape creatures off?
Timothy, can you pause the record? Thank you. Yeah, I would say your leg is a big stick, so and you'd probably be able to hit it with more force with your leg than anything else. So,
okay,
use what God gave you.
And you still don't have anyone named Timothy around here?
No, what did you say? I guess I've never heard that name.
Timothy. You haven't heard Timothy? That's not familiar to you?
Oh, like Tim, I guess, like Tiny Tim, sure.
Yeah. But no, okay. So that was our producer Cameron, who's troubleshooting the microphone and recording equipment. Also with us is Digital in the house.
All right, Timothy, you recording? We got that?
Who's Timothy?
Huh?
Who's Timothy?
I don't know what Timothy. Timothy?
Who's Timothy?
Huh?
Okay, you just said Timothy.
No, I didn't. Timothy?
It feels a lot like Yoda's house.
It feels a lot like...
Who's Timothy? Who's Timothy? Who's Timothy? Who's Timothy?
Who's Timothy? Who's Timothy? Who's Timothy? Who's Timothy?
It feels a lot like...
You just said Timothy, which is why I asked.
No, I didn't.
Who's Timothy? Who's Timothy? Who's Timothy?
And later, Cameron tells me that we can expect a very special guest.
That's right, Dr. London. In fact, I'm going to actually go ahead and say that this is the most special guest that we've ever had. Since the beginning of the show.
Yeah, well, you sent me their info beforehand, and
Yep.
It's it's not necessarily my specific, I guess, specialty. I specialize in everything, but this one really focuses on it's clinical psychology. It's getting into the mind of actually a killer, which is odd. So having this person on the show,
He's a mind hunter.
yeah. I guess
a mind
okay,
hunter.
that's one way to put it. Okay.
He's
yes.
Netflix's mind hunter.
Okay.
And
yeah.
And he's a CBS's Criminal Intent.
Right. So we have that's our guest today. And I made sure, so that they know this is a proper medical education podcast. We've sent them all the relevant links and info and transcripts. So we're excited for it.
Yeah, and I forwarded him my address, so he should be able to get over here pretty easily.
To your address.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. Oh, yeah, because we are. The method to get here was strange, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, and listeners know I like to keep my private life private, and so of course, I didn't send him a link to the address. I sent him a link to an address where a pickup point will be there, and then a person that I know will pick them up and then sort of take them to this location.
Is this person's name Timothy by any chance?
I just haven't heard that name. I guess that's what's really confusing to me.
Okay.
All right, Tim, can you start recording?
All right, well, before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So, the physical mailbox that I found in my neighbor's yard in the past, so that was previously occupied by a dog with, the dog food and everything, and then a badger. So that mailbox that I had found, it appears to have been destroyed. And I want to say first,
man,
that I did not do it.
I didn't do it.
So what I did do was
Why are you accusing me?
This is just kind of okay. Because did you try to sleep in the mailbox when the badger left?
No, I didn't do anything. You're accusing me. You said I didn't do it, which means you think that I did it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because if you didn't do it and I didn't do it,
the badger was gone.
You don't think there might be
a mind hunter?
A dog. Maybe like a dog was using the doghouse.
Well, but why would it destroy its own house?
Oh, maybe it got too big. It's like a shell. It's like a hermit crab upgrading to a new doghouse.
Okay.
His body gets too big.
I'm not a vet, so maybe, for all I know, that is how it works. Okay, so, well, any of our listeners...
And I'm not a vet either, but I was kicked out of veterinary school not because my grades were bad. I'll just put it, you know what I mean? Like, it's not because I was bad at being a vet, Okay. And so I do think when I talk about animals, maybe I should be trusted a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. Go ahead and read the letter.
Yeah, so, anyway, whenever I found all the scattered pieces of, the wood and everything from the mailbox, I did find a note, presumably from a listener. And the note reads, quote, "My beautiful granddaughter Linda calls me Gran, and my brat of a grandson calls me Wallet. I don't know where they pick up on these things. This is Linda when she was young. She is the light of my life. Gran loves you, sweetie." End quote. Oh, that's mostly nice. So we love to hear back from our listeners, and we really appreciate hearing back. So I'm not sure where grandchildren pick up on these things either, but I think that referring to you by the nickname of Wallet is, maybe a little bit funny and endearing.
It's a little cute. And this is your grandmother?
This is some listener. I don't keep up with... I don't think it's my grandmother. She always calls me Wallet.
Is that... are you paying her?
Well, she keeps sending me invoices for, and and it's grandma, so it's weird because normally like I could maybe see it if my mother sent me invoices for everything she paid for me growing up, but so far she has not done that. But my grandmother is, sending me
you invoices for like birthday gifts and stuff.
Yeah, and sweaters that she put she'll have the calculations of how many hours she spent knitting, and so it's not even store-bought stuff. She made it, and apparently everything had a price tag, and I didn't pay it. So yeah, there's no way this is your grandmother, because if this were your grandmother, she wouldn't be saying, oh, my grandson calls me this, blah, blah, blah. She'd be saying, where's my money? You owe me money. You are Wallet. This is the last time I'm gonna say this before sending this to collections. Yes, which is a legal thing that's pending right now. Anyway, now for today's medical topic, eosinophilic pneumonia. Now let's break down those terms. So Cameron, you've probably heard of pneumonia, and that's a term for an infection of the lungs.
Okay, yeah. I guess if I was about to say yeah, and then you just kept talking, so go ahead. Like that's fine.
Okay, yeah. So Cameron, just to clarify, I feel like we would have been, in the clear.
Yes,
in this
I've heard of
regard.
pneumonia.
Okay.
Yes, I've heard of jaundice. Yes, I've heard of diabetes. Honestly, let's go through this. I've heard of getting a cold. I've heard of getting a flu.
Yes.
I've heard of getting a stomach bug. I've heard of getting food poisoning.
Yes.
Gangrene. Dysentery.
Yes.
Diarrhea.
I don't know that we need to
constipation.
go
Yes.
through it all, because
Kidney
we're actually
stones.
more focused in this one. So
Urinary tract infection.
Yes.
the other term in the name,
Gonorrhea.
eosinophilic pneumonia, is the name that comes from eosinophils, which are a variety of white blood cells and the part of your immune system
Monsters ball.
that is more
Yes.
typically associated with fighting parasitic infections and with allergic responses. So, eosinophilic pneumonia is a respiratory illness
Orange
characterized
toe.
by eosinophilic infiltration of the lung tissue, and it can occur in both acute and chronic forms. So, in acute eosinophilic pneumonia, it's a rare disease that presents clinically with an acute illness of
When
less
you're
than
like when
4
you're
weeks duration.
when your elbows bend the opposite way.
Yeah, so like a hypermobile joint, Cameron, I
Yeah.
think is
That's another
Yeah.
thing I've heard of.
okay. So for that acute eosinophilic pneumonia, the patients will
Paul.
typically have
The Simon Pegg alien movie that had Seth Rogen playing the alien.
Okay, well that one I don't think is a clinical illness.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot what I was listing. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so these patients with acute eosinophilic pneumonia will have a non-productive cough,
Fissures.
difficulty
Yes.
breathing, and a fever. Physical exam can show fever, an increased rate of breathing,
Did I say constipation?
with bibasilar inspiratory crackles
Heart
well into the
disease.
lungs.
Yes.
Patients do not typically have
hernia,
peripheral blood eosinophilia at the time of
lymph
presentation,
nodes,
Yes.
but it does tend to increase over the course of the illness. namesake.
hysterectomy.
Eosinophilia.
And then what was the disease you had when you had the Forrest Gump leg braces?
That was just a fashion thing.
That was just... Oh!
Well,
That
you
was
know,
a conscious choice?
you think I don't really know how to... I think I'm pretty good with choosing, what to wear for lower
Yeah,
body.
I mean... I guess I've only seen you wear scrubs for the past, I don't know, like 30, 40 years.
Yeah. Well, just sometimes I'll try a new fashion trend. Like
So
for,
that's whoa, wait a second. You wearing scrubs day in and day out now as an adult, that's not a practical thing. Like you're going to and coming from work. You think that this is a fashionable decision.
when I go to work, I change out of my scrubs and into, slacks, button-up shirt, lab coat. No, the scrubs are just for every day, kind of looking cool. Oh, wow, he works in medicine.
Oh, okay. Wait, but do you think it's fashionable, I guess?
Yeah.
Who told you it was fashionable?
No, I just said he looks kind of cool. He must work in medicine, which
Okay,
is
so you wear
synonymous.
it to get like thumbs up and for people to say thank you for your service.
I mean, mostly just because people will be like, wow, he looks really good. Where did he get that? That kind of thing.
People were asking, where did you get scrubs?
I assume they don't talk to me, but it's one of those, I see people looking at me across the room.
So you haven't heard anyone say he looks cool like that. Where do I buy scrubs? I guess is what they're asking. You've never heard that?
I'm probably been asked that before. It's one of like people don't feel comfortable approaching me. They're very intimidated. I get it.
Right.
I'm a doctor. I'm a podcast host,
Yeah. And that's the hardest person to talk to as a doctor.
Yeah. Well, outside of the office.
Yeah. Because you're not wearing scrubs in the office, so it's easier to talk to you.
Oh, a lot easier. I'm wearing, slacks and, like I said, button-up shirt. Like, I'm just wearing business, casual, business, professional, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, on imaging for acute eosinophilic pneumonia, the lungs may show bilateral, diffuse mixed ground glass and reticular opacities. And after ruling out infection, vasculitis,
Pickle lips,
or other known precipitants, a confident diagnosis of acute eosinophilic pneumonia
sausage fingers
can be made on the basis of a combination of acute febrile illness of a month or less, hypoxemic respiratory failure.
And I don't know what Paul had in the movie Paul, the alien that Seth Rogen played. I don't know if he had a disease, but I mean, something was wrong with him. His head was huge. And his body looked like it could barely support it. So I'm going to take back my answer of taking back my original suggestion of Paul. And I'm gonna put that back on the docket.
Diffuse pulmonary opacities on chest radiograph and also bronchoalveolar lavage eosinophilia. Those are all part of the criteria for acute
frostbite,
eosinophilic pneumonia. Now, in contrast, chronic eosinophilic pneumonia generally lasts from 1 to 4 months. It will typically have that peripheral eosinophilia throughout, and mid to upper lung zone opacities will be present on chest radiograph. Anyway, the treatment for both is going to be systemic glucocorticoids and
green
care.
eyes.
So I actually, and this is for our listeners, I guess, I have green eyes, Cameron. I don't see it as an illness.
And yet you collect checks from it, from the government, giving you money just because you were born with this disease?
No.
Please. This is what I pay my taxes for?
I don't think so. But we can go ahead and, move on from there. I guess, I'm pretty excited for the guest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited for him too. Let me check. Tim, is anyone...
Okay, now
is anyone at the pickup point yet?
I'm hearing you say Tim.
Huh? No, I've never heard of that name before. If you could just check. No one's there yet? Okay. No one's at the pickup point.
Yeah, it seems like a very complicated way to do things.
I mean, it's not that complicated. You go to the pickup point. A guy named Timothy, who I've never even heard of that name, and there's no one here who even looks like him. He goes and he picks you up, and then at that point you go through a series of puzzles. And the point of the puzzles is less to educate, and it's more to kind of keep your mind occupied, so maybe you forget any of the details you might have picked up before getting to the drop-off point. So these are typical puzzles. I think I guess the hardest one is is one with the Dalmatians, because it's a 1,000-piece puzzle, and the Dalmatians, it's all just black and white.
I feel like based on just that much, I don't need to hear more. Probably the guests should have an easier time to get on their show.
That's just the first of the 3 puzzles.
And did the
second is a secret clue, and that secret clue is written just right on a puzzle. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle, and it really just has the secret clue written all over it a bunch of different times. Again, it's mostly black and white because it's just sort of white, and then black pen that wrote the secret clue on it. So you're just going to put all that together.
But here's a question: is there any chance that maybe because there's a pandemic going on, that maybe the guest didn't plan on physically coming here?
Ooh, who are you talking about?
The guest that we had planned. Okay.
Timothy?
Okay, so now you know Timothy.
No, I don't know who that is. I've never heard that name.
No, I'm talking about the headhunter guest. You were going on about it's a serial killer catcher, clinical psychologist, something.
Oh, the mind hunter guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me check. Hey, Timothy, Is anyone at the drop off point yet?
Okay, I guess we can move on. It sounds like we'll be waiting. So for our listeners, we're just going to be we'll be waiting for a moment for the guests to arrive.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for these technical difficulties. Sometimes with the wetness of the environment in this area, it can sort of be off-putting for people's skin. So there is a chance that our guest went to the drop-off point, could sort of feel it affecting his skin, and then maybe ran to the market to get some lotion or something like that.
And you think that's the most likely scenario?
More than what were you saying? You think he was zooming around like Sonic the Hedgehog? Just going zzz?
No, I was like...
Yes, I would say it's more realistic that he went to a CVS to get lotion. Yeah, I would say that's true.
Okay. All right, well, we can...
I mean, what do you want to do? That we got some free time here. Do you want
to... well, do we...
Actually, I forgot to bring the chore wheel from the studio, but I actually have my own personal chore wheel for the stuff around my house.
Okay, well, that's... I mean, I guess I could... Because like...
You want to just help with, like, knock off a couple things?
Yeah, we have the time, I guess. Yeah, why not? Okay,
so let's go ahead and spin this thing. And yeah, if you notice, this is a bit louder. And how do I, like, audibly stinkier than the other chore wheel. But we are working on that.
Okay,
so
we meaning you and Tim. Yeah.
I've got well, don't know who that is.
Right. Okay.
Well, I got to finish a puzzle first before I can even think about getting to that. So let's just go ahead and spin this.
Okay.
Okay. It says feed the things that are grabbing at your feet. Okay. So this is actually more complicated than that lets on.
Well, because my fear was that they are meant to eat my feet. So this is a comfort to me.
Well, it shouldn't be comforting because that might happen if we don't feed them fast enough or the right way, or we don't give them the right food.
Okay. So what do they eat? And so there are creatures. These are organic life forms.
They eat mice like a lot of creatures and people sometimes. Unfortunately, the mice are also kind of mixed in with the fog and the creatures. So I'm going to just put my feet up, sort of. I'm going to sit cross-legged style.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to give you this little spear here, and then I'm just going to let you hunt for those mice. And of course, if you accidentally hit one of the things it'll get you.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I want to do your chores now.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it'll start eating us pretty quickly if we don't do this.
Okay. No,
I'm really glad it actually landed on this one, because if it landed on something else, we would probably have to pivot to this anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just...
For the listeners, he's really sort of making these kind of pathetic flailing motions. I think he thinks it's really interesting to see what other people think stabbing or using a spear is. It's not what he's doing.
Okay, it's on my finger. It's on my... Okay, it's...
Yeah. I noticed you were sort of using it more like a pole vault.
Yeah. Is there another way to... Well, I had to get around.
I guess that's true. I mean, and it keeps your feet off the ground. That's kind of smart. But I don't really understand the reason why you had to vault over that bookshelf over there.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And like you even did like a spin and land thing.
Well, there was a view. I thought there might be a good view over there. And didn't pan out.
You thought like someone was looking into a window? Was that to watch you? And that's why you were doing that move?
A little bit of that. That was definitely a suspicion. But it was more just to get the lay of the land. And, even though it's such a very small, cramped space filled with fog, I thought I could get a better view of the place. Maybe it looked just like Yoda's. and not so dark and damp. But no, it does look very dark and damp throughout.
Yeah. And it's actually damper the higher you go.
That is odd. Okay.
And that's just the moisture clouds gathering at the roof. You can see that there.
Yeah. Okay.
And those are the stink clouds you can see.
Okay.
You don't want to accidentally get your head in there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a disease you don't want to get, stinky head.
Yeah. So just for our listeners, this is, in a way, this is a treat. We haven't had, Cameron's home is almost the guest right now, with how, like, there's just a whole separate ecosystem here.
Yeah, it's, how people like to say that, the location is the main character of a story. Like, oh, New York is one of the main characters. London is one of the main characters of this movie.
Or this
in a
podcast,
way,
yeah.
My home is sort of the fourth main character of the Jock Talk podcast. After me, Dr. London, DJ Dylan, and Timothy.
Yes.
Yeah, and Timothy, is Timothy a person?
Who?
Okay. Should we do, I don't know, I guess we have time for one more chore. I assume the guest is on their way.
Hey, Timothy? Oh, he's doing a puzzle, so he's not going to look up for a while anyway. Okay, so...
Well, okay, actually, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Because you were hinting at something earlier, and if you could just be honest with me. Okay, so earlier I was talking about my fashion choices and how, as you said, I've been, for decades, I've been wearing these scrubs pants, these trousers. Do you think I should change that? Like, for my cool outfits?
And you actually want my honest opinion. You can't get mad at my opinion, right?
I probably could, but no, I am asking. So,
but you're asking, so you're not going to get mad for me telling you the truth.
Once again, I can't decide ahead of time what my feelings will be.
Okay, but I just want to know there's not going to be any sort of retaliation. I'm not going to be fired because of my opinion on your clothes, right?
And I really can't guarantee any of that, but I would like to have your opinion on my fashion choices, whether you think I should try to change it up. Honestly, even now, since we have the time.
All right, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and if there are consequences to this, then that is totally fine. I completely understand. Dr. London, when I take a look at you, all I see is a lack of Forrest Gump leg braces. I think you need to bring those back, man. With the scrubs. The scrubs are killing it.
Okay, and so I have the leg braces framed at home.
Take those bad boys down.
Okay. And so the scrubs are working. Okay. Because, yeah, you just sounded so critical earlier. I wasn't sure.
Well, it's just like, how do I put this? The whole time I've known you, I could tell that something was missing. Sort of missing deep down. Sort of a... When
you say deep down, do you just mean like below the waist down?
Sort of like a Forrest Gump leg braces shaped hole in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that can be filled with Forrest Gump leg braces, which you already have.
Yeah. Well, you say that as if that's weird. Okay. So I can make that change. And this is good.
Can I ask about, like, I guess I don't really need to ask, but maybe I feel rude for not asking about my fashion choices?
Okay, and I don't want to... Okay, I don't want to be mean.
Yes, you do. I can look at your face and tell that you've been waiting for this.
Yes.
So for our listeners, Cameron has been wearing, they have those sort of bubble boy suits. Cameron has one of those on, except with so many holes poked in it that it's just, he's wearing plastic bagging, like thick plastic, when he walks around.
Yeah, it's a Swiss cheese bubble boy outfit.
Yeah, so
But the holes are to be able to breathe better.
Yeah, no, I assumed that was your train of thought, but you also said that
because you can only breathe in that thing for a little while.
The thing is, you told me that you were wearing the suit in the first place because you wanted to stay safe from pathogens, from the virus,
Yeah, and I'm still doing that. I just made a couple air holes to make it easier to breathe.
Okay, so the point I'm getting at is that those air holes negate the effect of the overall costume because...
You're saying the air holes make the costume ugly. It's not a costume.
I'm not denying that, but the efficacy, as a viral prophylactic, is not there.
Except it's already gone viral.
Okay, I know about your TikTok videos. Yeah.
So I know you're wrong about that. I changed my mind. You shouldn't be wearing scrubs because you aren't smart enough to be able to answer people's questions when they call upon you at the grocery store or at the bank, at the mall. Someone's having an emergency. They see you in scrubs and they say, "Doctor, help me!" And you're gonna go over there and you're gonna say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't poke holes in there."
You know what? I think I've had enough of this. I'm gonna go for a walk.
Okay, I'm gonna go with you, and I'm gonna take the chore wheel and the recording equipment.
Okay. Oh, okay. You really have a full setup to strap it to you. Okay.
I mean, it's a wagon strapped to my belt, so I can do it hands free.
Yeah. Okay.
I just kind of pull it with the back of my pants. I have to hold on to the front of my pants, of course, so they don't get pulled down.
I'm just impressed that that's gonna make it through the crawl space exit here. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Crawling under. Oh.
Yeah, and let me just open the wagon door so we can get all the equipment through. And then I can just walk through.
Okay. Is
Where
that...
you want to walk? I'm giving you free reign. This is my treat to you, Dr. London.
Yeah, so I'm seeing,
Despite your cruelty.
Because you haven't forced the blindfold on me, I can see there's a road nearby. And is that...
Mm-hmm.
Who's that by the road? Is that Timothy? Gathering leaves.
Hey, Timothy! Can you get Coke from the garage fridge?
Okay.
No, I don't know who that is. I think it's a neighbor, maybe from down the street or something.
Yeah. Well, it does look like they've got a bag of leaves there, and so now what I'm wondering is, if you don't like. If my scrub trousers don't look good, do you think that a bag of leaves could make... I don't know. Like, I know there are no braces on your
Are you
legs.
suggesting that we sort of cover ourselves in some of this goop and go roll in the leaves?
I was just going to do the easier thing of take the bag of leaves and cut holes in the bottom.
All right, so I'm just going to goop you up.
Okay.
Here, yeah, just stretch your arm out.
Ooh.
Yeah, and don't
swallow it.
I need you to cough 5 times. But then don't swallow. Okay, and then we're gonna goop up. Okay. And then do you want to roll first? It is my house. I guess, but you're the guest. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try. And you're sure this is fashionable?
Yeah, I guess you were the one that asked this to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I asked it, and then you could have just said, "No, that sounds really weird." But if it's
I wish I had known that was an option before I covered ourselves in this goop. You can't wash this stuff off.
Okay. Well, let me.
It has to peel off over the course of a few weeks.
In that case, I will. Timothy, could I get that bag of leaves?
Who are you talking to?
The guy by the side of the road. Is that not Timothy?
Hey, Tim. Yeah, don't listen to him.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that's a neighbor, maybe from down the street. I don't know that guy.
I'll go ahead and ask him for the... I don't know. I feel like I could just pay to have this done. Get the bag of leaves. It'll be secure. I can tie it off, as opposed to just falling off everywhere. And I just want to have some semblance of clothing for my lower half.
So you'd rather do that than just be covered in just goop and leaves, which you're already covered in.
Yes. I would
Okay.
rather have the extra layer of protection. Okay. Yes.
So yeah, go talk to that strange man. I don't know who that is.
Okay. Hello. Yes. How much for the bag? With the leaves. Uh-huh. Okay, not for sale. Okay. Can I, is there any way I can get you to part with it? Just look at me. I'm not Okay. $100 for a bag of dead leaves. What about $5? Okay, 60. Yeah. Okay, maybe $10. Okay, $40. Honestly, it's worth it. I'm in a very unusual situation. If I could, yeah. I'll put it. Okay. Okay, Cameron, I got it.
You got your outfit?
Yeah. Doesn't it look good?
I mean, I definitely respect it more than an ignorant man like yourself wearing a bunch of scrubs, yeah.
Okay. It's not a bunch of scrubs. It's like a top and bottom.
No, yeah, you've got the hat scrubs, you've got the shirt scrubs, you've got the pants scrubs.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of scrubs.
The elbow pad scrubs.
Collarbone scrubs,
Okay, I guess
diaper scrubs.
maybe we can let's just go back in now that I have this, and then just, maybe we can just end it, because I'm guessing that this serial killer physician is not going to show up.
Ooh, I mean, there's really no way to say that, because I did send him the address of the drop-off point. So let me just... Tim? Hey, can I get that Coke from the garage? Yeah, so it doesn't look like he's at the drop-off point now.
Okay.
But maybe while we wait, let's just spin a tour wheel out here.
Okay. One more? And then maybe we can just call it?
Sure, let's do one more.
Okay. Okay, Cameron, I don't know what this one means.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's climb to the top of Cameron Mountain.
Yeah. So, where is that? I'm not seeing...
Maybe look behind you?
Okay, so...
That whole thing?
So for our listeners, what Cameron appears to be referring to is a large mountain made of diapers. Cameron, you don't have any children, do you?
Yet.
But they look like they
I'm
are
still
used
hoping
diapers.
one day I'm going to meet the right lady and maybe have a couple little Camerons running around.
Well, I guess, because what I'm really wondering is, why do you have so many used diapers making a mountain?
I don't know who that is. I haven't heard that name. Timothy?
No, I said used. Okay. Okay, I guess, let's... Okay, well, the chore wheel was... How about you climb that mountain, then? I don't think... only one of us needs to, I guess.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. Do you see... Here, I'm going to give you this pair of binoculars.
Okay.
Do you see sort of like above the clouds there where those birds are circling around?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that tiny little thing up there?
Yeah, the ferret? Is that a ferret?
No, the thing that's bigger than that ferret. Thing
Okay.
with a door and some windows.
Oh, you have a... You built a structure on top of Cameron Mountain, which is...
Yeah, I have a cabin on a mountain. Of course you do. Who wouldn't do that?
Okay, so the reason to climb the mountain is to enjoy the... Okay.
And unfortunately, I know what you're saying. You want me to go up there by myself and finish the chore. But the actual reason that we have to go up there is that's where all your checks are.
Oh. So we're actually... Okay, all the sponsors are paying off. Okay.
No, your paychecks for the next 2 years. I was able to... I kind of had them forwarded to my house and asked for an advance for 2 years.
Okay.
And it's all, so if you want to be paid for the next 2 years, we got to go up there.
Yeah, if it's my money, then yes, I do want that. Okay. So we can go up. I guess you can, keep pulling your wagon up.
Yeah, we got the wagon, and then if we can use one of these dog sleds
to go up.
Yep, and if you could just pull me on that, because I don't own a dog.
Yeah. Okay.
But because I'm pulling the wagon, so I've already got my hands full. So you'll just pull me on that.
Yeah,
pulling
I recognize
the wagon.
that. Okay. Honestly, I'm so just ready for this to be done, but I've got my trash bag full of leaves that are around my waist. Okay. Here we go. Just climb our way up. How are you feeling now?
Oh man, I'm just gonna rest while you do this, honestly.
Yeah, okay. Going up.
But I mean, to answer your question, I guess I'm doing okay. I have this buddy of mine. I guess you would call him a buddy, even though there's sort of a transactional nature to our relationship.
Oh, that one definitely opened up, and is that a dog's fecal matter?
I wouldn't look in there. Sort of. Have you ever seen Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
You know how looking in that diaper they opened up caused them all to like melt?
I feel like I know part of what you're talking about, but it might have been... It was a gold thing, not a thing full of, stool. But
I don't... That night is a blur for me when I watched that, so yeah, maybe there's other stuff getting mixed in there. But the point is, don't look in there. Just keep going.
Okay.
Anyway, to answer your question, my buddy, I don't know. He promised to pull me up my mountain.
Okay, look, we were so close to
it.
being done, and if you're just going to give me attitude about me carrying you and your equipment up a mountain made of used diapers, which seem to have been used by an adult person.
I've never met a Timothy in my life.
And we're there. Okay, let's just go inside.
And don't watch your feet here. You realize how high we are.
Yeah, no, for our listeners, mountain was not an exaggeration of a term.
Let's just say people have fallen.
I'm getting altitude sickness right now. Like, it is difficult to breathe. The smell isn't helping either. Okay.
Oh yeah, you don't want to smell anything. So let's just breathe. Just breathe through your mouth.
No, I don't think
as much as you can. Just avoid breathing through your nose.
Okay. Oh, you got a little journal here for me. It looks like the last person to ride in it, they wrote out screams.
Oh yeah. So I think it was a double feature of we had watched Scream, and then we watched Indiana Jones.
Okay, because it looks like the handwriting's really shaky. It looks like they're struggling, but it was just from watching a scary movie.
No, I mean they're probably just being consumed by the diapers and the smell at that point. Because that'll get you high.
All right.
I'm not kidding when I say don't sniff this stuff. It's not just because it's stinky.
It is the methane gases.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's just avoid
It's sort of
lighting
an
a match then
equivalent
as well.
to it's sort of an in-between of ketamine and PCP.
Okay.
Like not as weak as ketamine, but not as strong as PCP is if you ingest this level of this specific type of diaper fumes. Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like we did that chore. That's 2 chores done. That's more than
Yep.
we usually do. Are we about ready to be done here? I just feel like the gases are really building here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to take a nap here, but maybe after I get up, we could, head back down and then, maybe if you want to, maybe want to hang out, maybe we could play some, like, code names or something.
Well, I'm pretty ready to go. Man, this is making me drowsy. The gases. How long have I been out? Why am I only wearing like my shirt's gone? It's so cold. Guess I could write something. Okay, I passed out for so long. It's been 12 hours. Okay. I guess I can write. Yeah, it makes this hour 13. Whew. Okay. So Cameron, I'm writing in this journal. Is that okay? Yeah. All right. Okay. Finishing up there.
Well, well, well. It seems that Timothy was the Timoth key to all of Dr. London's problems all along. But one question remains. Who is Timothy? And where were all those diapers coming from? Well, the world may never know. But what we do know is that we don't know in the Jock Doc Zone.
And, now I think about it, I should just leave.
Another diaper coming through.
Oh no. We don't need that.
You don't really get a say in it.
Okay.
Otherwise the arm can't sustain itself. I'm gonna throw those diapers up.
Oh! No! Cameron, wake up. I think that while you were asleep, a diaper was thrown and the structural integrity of your mountain was compromised.
Was Timothy throwing diapers on the diaper? I told him that it could not sustain another diaper.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh. Oh, man, I feel like I'm on ketamine.
Yeah.
It's like watching myself.
Which, that's
As
been
a
just
movie.
a catchphrase of yours before now, but with all the gases. Okay, well, let's... I kind of just want to end this. I'm not, like,
In
live,
what?
The recording. We're still recording, aren't we?
Oh. Yeah, let me check the wagon. It pulled my pants down. Yep. Looks like we're still recording.
Thank you to Cameron, our producer, for, kind of last minute bringing us up to some good... Well, inviting us into his home to record. And
Another director coming through.
Oh no. Okay.
No.
And my name is Dr. London
down.
Smith.
If you just duck down. We got a big one. Triple director coming through. It's on the catapult.
Thank you to Digital in the House. Like, people don't feel comfortable approaching me. They're very intimidated. I get it. I'm a doctor. I'm a podcast host,
I'm not kidding when I say don't sniff this stuff. It's not just because it's stinky. It's sort of an equivalent to it's sort of an in-between of ketamine and PCP. like not as weak as ketamine, but not as strong as PCP, is if you ingest this level of this specific type of diperfumes.
When people don't feel comfortable approaching me, they're very intimidated. I get it. I'm a doctor, podcast host, you know. I get it.
Loading up on the catapult.
My name is drlondonsmith.com.
Just duck down, hold this umbrella. We just want.
And this has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
See ya.
Choke down the smoothie, trying to hide a grimace as the warm and friendly face in front of you gazes expectantly at your reaction. So you say this is vomit flavored, you ask politely. That friendly face beams with pride. That's right, Puddin'. Wow, you if we drank more vomit flavored things instead of dumb vitamins, why, all of us would be healthy. Now, how many gallons can I put you down for? The world goes dark as you fumble for a polite answer. Speaking of manners, don't forget to leave a 5-star review of the Jock Dog Podcast, in which you share about the times that you have been offered a disgustingly theoretically healthy beverage, and consider supporting us by becoming a patron on the Jock Dog Podcast Patreon. And while you're at it, go ahead and share the Jock Dog Podcast with a friend or foe. You can send them a link to your favorite episode, or just send them our handy website, jockdogpodcast.com. And don't forget to take a peek at our posts on social media. We are at Jock Dog Podcast. Thanks for listening.